Hey everyone, Screen913 here, and welcome to the Dark Crusade.
Ooh, not to be confused with the Dark Knight. That's something completely different.
Completely different. Doesn't have an E after dark.
True.
Totally different. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is Let's Read Lone Wolf with me in Inferno.
Woo!
So, the story so far.
Bad things happened.
Very, very bad things happen. You are Grandmaster Lone Wolf, last of the Kai Lords of Summerland, and sole survivor of a massacre that wiped out the first order of your elite warrior caste. It is the year MS 5076, and 26 years have passed since the brave kinsmen perished at the hands of the Dark Lords of Helgedad. These champions of evil, who were sent forth by Nar, the King of Darkness, to destroy the fertile world of Magdamund, have themselves since been destroyed. You vowed to avenge the murder of the Kai, and you kept your pledge, for it was you who brought about their downfall when alone you infiltrated their foul domain, the Darklands, and caused the destruction of their leader, Archlord Nyag, and the seat of his power that was the infernal city of Helgedad. Go you.
Go me.
For 6 years now, peace has reigned in Summerland. Under your direction, the once ruined monastery of the Kai has been thoroughly rebuilt and restored to its former glory, and the task of teaching a second order of Kai warriors the skilled and proud traditions of your ancestors is also well underway. The new generation of Kai recruits, all of whom were born during the era of war against the Dark Lords, possesses latent Kai skills, and all show exceptional promise. These skills will be nurtured and honed to perfection during their time at the monastery so that they may teach and inspire future generations, thereby ensuring the continued security of your homeland in future years. Your attainment of the rank of Kai Grand Master brought with it great rewards, some such as the restoration of the Kai and the undying gratitude of your fellow Summerlanding could have been anticipated. Yet there have been rewards which you could not possibly have foreseen. The discovery that within you lay the potential to develop Kai disciplines beyond those of the Magna Kai, which until now were thought to be the ultimate that a Kai master could aspire to, was truly a revelation. Your discovery has inspired you to set out upon a new and previously unknown path in search of the wisdom and power that no Kai Lord before you has ever possessed. In the name of your creator, the god Kai, and for the greater glory of Summerland and the goddess Aishur, you have vowed to reach the very pinnacle of the Kai perfection, to attain all of the Grandmaster disciplines and become the first Kai Supreme Master, which I'm guessing you named yourself. It's like, well, I'm going to name it the Kai Super Supreme Delta Master. With diligence and determination, you set about the restoration of the Kai Monastery and organize the training... Wait, what? Yeah, okay, never mind. I thought I was rereading things.
Oh, yeah.
And organize the training of the second order of recruits. Your efforts were soon rewarded, and within the space of 2 short years, the first raw recruits had graduated to become the cadre of gifted Kai masters, who in turn were able to commence the teaching of their skills to subsequent intakes of Kai novices. Readily, the Kai Masters rose to their newfound responsibilities, leaving you free to devote more of your time to the pursuit of perfection of the Grandmaster disciplines. During this period, you were also received expert tutelage in the ways of magic from both your most trusted friends and advisors, Guildmaster Baindon and leader of the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star, and Lord Rimera, speaker for the High Council of the Elder Magi. In the deepest subterranean level of the monastery, 100 feet below the Tower of the Sun, you ordered the excavation and construction of a special vault. In this magnificent chamber wrought of granite and gold, you placed the 7 lore stones of Nexitar, the gems of the Kai power that you had rediscovered during your quest of the Magna Kai. It was here, bathed in the golden light of those radiant gems, that you spent countless hours in pursuit of perfection. Sometimes alone, sometimes in the company of your 2 most able advisors, Baindon and Rimera, you worked hard to develop your innate Grandmaster disciplines and grasp the fundamental secrets of left-handed and Old Kingdom magic. During this time, you noticed many remarkable changes taking place within your body. You became physically and mentally stronger. Your I know, I keep thinking jokes.
You start growing hair where there wasn't hair before.
Started noticing things about his female recruits that he had not noticed before.
It's true.
Primary senses sharpened beyond all that you had experienced before, and perhaps most remarkably, your body began to age at a much slower rate, allowing him to date high school women longer.
Gross.
Now, for every 5 years that elapse, you age but 1 year. Hang on. At this time, many changes were occurring beyond the borders of Summerland, in the regions where Summerland started noticing things about its neighbors it had not noticed before. In the regions in the northeast of Magador and the Macan Gorge, the Elder Magi of Desse and the Herborns of Baratar were working together in an effort to restore the dusty volcanic wasteland to its former fertile state. It was the first tentative step towards the reclamation of the Darklands. However, their progress was painfully slow, and both parties were resigned to the fact that their efforts to undo the damage caused by the Dark Lords would take not years, but centuries to complete. In the far west, the Dracarum had retreated to their homelands and were engaged in a bloody war against the Lyncians. Much of the northern Nyras had been reclaimed by the armies of King Sarnak, the Lyncian commander, and his flag now flew over territory which 2,000 years ago had once been part of Lyncia. Hang on, there's a footnote.
Ooh, footnote.
The Dracarum lands of Nyra had been referred to as the Nyraz in previous publications. We have left it as it stands in this book due to its consistent use here under the assumption of the author intended its name change. Okay, whatever. Where are we? Wait, no, come, where's the one? Ah, there we are, okay. Following the destruction of the Dark Lords of the Helgadad, the Gaiax, the most prolific in number of all the Nag's troops, fled into the Darklands and sought refuge in the gigantic city fortresses of Nadzagad, Anarch, Guran, Agkazad, and Kag. Within each of these hellish strongholds, fierce fighting broke out as remnants of the lesser Dark Lords and their Nads, evil practitioners of right-handed magic who once aided individual Dark Lord masters, fought for control. It is widely believed that by the time the Elder Magi and the Herborns each reach the walls of the strongholds, they will encounter no resistance. The occupants will have long since brought their own extinction. Elsewhere, throughout northern Magdamon, peace reigns victorious, and the peoples of the Free Kingdoms rejoice in the knowledge that the age of the Dark Lords has finally come to an end. Readily, men have exchanged their swords for hoes and their shields for plows, and now the only marching they do is along the ruts of their freshly furrowed fields. Few are the watchful eyes that scan the distant horizon in fear of what may appear, although there are still those who maintain their vigilance, for the agents of Nar come in many guises, and there are those upon Magdamon who wait quietly in the shadows for their chance to do his evil bidding. Only a year ago, the evil Sinar Druids of Rule attempted to enact Nar's revenge. Secretly, in the laboratories of their foul stronghold of Morgorath, they had labored to create a virulent plague virus capable of killing every living creature upon Magdamon, save their own kind. Word of their terrible plan reached Lord Rimura, who immediately urged the rulers of the Freelands to raise armies to invade Rule. Then they failed, and then you beat them. I'm sorry, guys. I've been reading for like 2 hours straight. So yeah, you beat them. You killed their acid. I've never done this before, but I'm really not in the mood to read all this. And then you did things in Kag, and we lost half our organs, and then we succeeded there too. So let's go straight to.
Straight to the good stuff.
Yes, okay. The rescue of Guildmaster Baindon and his safe return to Summerlund was the cause of much celebration, especially in the streets and guild halls of the native city of Tehran. For several days, you allowed yourself to be feted by the Brotherhood of the Crystal Star before returning to the monastery, where, with a feeling of quiet satisfaction, you gladly resumed your duties as Kai Grand Master. So, the year ended and another began, yet even before the snows of winter had begun to thaw, once again your unique skills were being sought in a relentless struggle against evil. This time the plea of help, plea of help arrived by way of a foreign ambassador, a special envoy who had traveled thousands of miles from the court of King Sarnak of Lyncia. Their war against the Dracarum, who were under the command of Maganarn, the high warlord of Darke, had stagnated ever since the onset of winter, and recently the whole campaign had taken a turn for the worse. The Lyncians learned that Maganarn had undertaken a quest for the Doomstone of Darke, an artifact of legendary evil. It was said that this gem was the most powerful of all the Doomstones created by the Agarash the Damned during the Age of Eternal Night. Before the demise of the Dark Lords, the Doomstone had rested in the hands of the Nyrus Scepter, a magical weapon wielded by the Dark Lord Dakushana, Lord of Kagros. In the chaos that followed the wake of the Dakushana's destruction, the Nyrus Scepter was lost, though many secretly believed it to have been stolen by one of the Darknusha's sorcerers. Some months later, during the war in Nyrus, the scepter reappeared, but the Doomstone was missing from it, sitting atop the scepter's platinum haft. Okay.
Doomstone. Doom.
We fear that Maganorn is close to finding the Doomstone of Darke, says the Lyncian envoy. Already he possesses the scepter's haft. My liege, the swords, King Sarnak, besieges you, Grandmaster Lone Wolf. Come to our aid, help us find the Doomstone and thwart Maganorn's plan. For if he successfully reunites the Doomstone with the Nyrus scepter, he will command the power capable of our undoing.
Didn't say please. I can't believe that.
With respect, my lord, surely this one weapon, however evil it may be, is no match when pitted against all the armored might of Lencia, you replied diplomatically, yet unconvinced by the envy's invoice plea, and I don't wanna.
Ty, let Lone Wolf chill out for a while. Find himself a Lady Wolf.
The Lady Wolf. Let my organs heal. Perhaps so, Grandmaster, he replies, when the nature of the threat merely was the weapon alone. Sadly, it is not the only issue here. Until now, the Nad sorcerers who control the strongholds of Karagorost and Agzad have refused to aid Magnorn in his war against us. Many times he has begged them for help, for within those fortresses' walls are thousands of Gaiacs and other breeds who sought sanctuary there after the defeat of the Dark Lords. They still possess their weapons, and they would make a formidable enemy if ever they were to mustered against us. Maganarn's possession of the Doomstone of Darke will most certainly influence the Nazadarnim. Its power is such that Maganarn could simply force them to obey his every command. Their refusal would result in their immediate destruction. Politely, you dismiss the envoy, whilst you consider your response to his plea. In the solitude of your chamber, you ponder the problem, weigh the plight of Lencia against your duties and responsibilities here at the Kai Monastery. At length, after careful deliberation, you decide that there needs to be a 15th book after all.
The author needs to pay for his patio.
Very funny. It's like, at first I was going to say no, but then I realized rent was coming. Well, my lord, inquired the envoy nervously upon re-entering your chamber, will you help us thwart Maganarn? Once, not so very long ago, your king and his army aided me during my quest for the Magna Kai, you replied. Perhaps now the time has come for me to repay my debt of gratitude. Actually, as I recall, didn't we win that battle for him?
Yeah, didn't just saving everyone kind of just make everything even, Steven?
Not even that. When he was helping him, there was this giant battle, and then we won it, and then we killed some guy with a flaming axe, and... No, but you're right, we owe him. Yeah, totally.
Totes.
Yes, I shall help you. I shall return with you to Lencia and champion your cause. I vow that I shall do all within my power to thwart Maganarn's quest. Yay! We know the game rules, folks. Alright,
yes, we do.
Grandmaster Disciplines, time to choose. Alright, we have...
Choose wisely.
We have Grandmaster Weaponry. Okay, so here's some we don't have. Animal Mastery. Grandmasters have considerable control over hostile, non-sentient creatures. Also, they have the ability to converse with birds and fishes and use them as guides. You're like Aquaman.
Woo!
Deliverance. Advanced Curing. Grandmasters are able to use their healing power to repair serious battle wounds. If, whilst in combat, their endurance is reduced to 8 points or less, they can draw upon their mastery to restore 20 endurance points. This ability can only be used once every 20 days. Assimilance. We have that. Grand Hunt Mastery. We have that. Grand Pathmanship. Grandmasters are able to resist entrapment by hostile plants and have super awareness of ambush or the threat of ambush in woods and dense forests. Kai Surge. When using their psychic ability to attack an enemy, Grandmasters may add 8 points to their combat skill for every round in which a Kai Surge is used. Grandmasters need only deduct 1 point when using the weaker psychic attacks. Mind Blast, they may add 4 points without loss of endurance points. Yay.
Yay.
Kai Screen. In psychic combat, Grandmasters are able to construct mind fortresses capable of protecting themselves and others. The strength and capacity of these fortresses increases as the Grandmaster rises in rank. Grand Nexus. Grandmasters are able to withstand contact with harmful elements such as flames, acids, for upwards to an hour in duration. This ability increases as the Grandmaster advances in rank. Telegnosis. This discipline enables the Grandmaster to spirit walk for far greater lengths of time and with far fewer ill effects. Duration and protection of his inanimate body increases the Grandmaster rises in rank. Also, it should point out that it tells you a lot of things through divination and stuff, because while technically you should be able to get that through divination, you can't. Like, I mean, come on, it's basically like if there's some evil thing afoot, Telegnosis can help you figure out what it is. The game really should explain that, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And Magic and Kai Alchemy we already have. So.
Woo.
So those are your choices. Choose wisely. Telegnosis, Grand Nexus, Kai Screen, Kai Surge, Grand Pathmanship, Deliverance, and Animal Mastery. Alright, equipment. Before you set off on your long journey, you take a map of the wastelands of Tetapapa. So here are them things. Here's the map. Dude, talking about the stuff. Hell Swamp. That sounds fun. Okay. Okay, how do I get back? Okay, I'm done
Back
now.
button.
Right. And a pouch of gold. We already have like 50 gold crowns, so we don't need to worry about that. You may take 5 items. Again, I think I'm going to limit it to 3 items from the list below. Actually, I'm wondering if we even need that. We need a quiver. We have a rope. We need a potion. Okay,
yes.
I'm not even going to worry about it, because the rope, potion, and quiver. I mean, meals, potion, and quiver is all we need. And that's only...
There you go.
So there won't be any voting for that this week, because we all know what you guys would choose anyway. So, so you still got to vote for the skills, and I'm not going to worry about putting up a weapons vote. I mean, some people use it and stuff, but I mean, come on, it's not really mattered one iota yet.
Watch, it's gonna matter a lot,
right?
but I doubt it.
Let me go to advanced combat. I mean, advanced disciplines. No, advanced disciplines. Okay, improved Kai mastery disciplines. We know Guardian. We know. Okay, Sun Knight. Grand Weapon Mastery. Sun Knights with this discipline are able to wield two-handed weapons, i.e. broadsword, quarterstaff, spear, with full effect using only one hand. Deliverance. Sun Knights who possess this skill are able to repair serious wounds sustained by creatures other than themselves. By laying hands upon the affected creature's body, a Sun Knight can cause an open wound or other serious injury to mend itself. The speed at which the healing takes place increases as the Grandmaster rises in rank. Pathmanship. Kai Sun Knights with this skill are able to repel at will all normal-sized insects within the radius of 3 yards. The range and the numbers of insects so affected increases considerably. That could be really helpful when camping.
Yes.
Grand Nexus. Sun Knights who possess the mastery of this discipline are able to feign death. By placing themselves in a state of suspended animation, outwardly they are able to achieve all semblance of being truly dead. However, whilst in this state, the only sense that the Sun Knight retains is the ability to hear. Telegnosis. Sun Knights who possess this discipline are able to communicate telepathically over great distances. Initially, the range of this ability is approximately 100 miles, but it raises in rank. Alright, Kai Alchemy. New spells, new spells. Halt Missile. This causes any projected or hurled missile, i.e. arrows, axes, crossbows, etc., which may pose an immediate threat to the life of a Sun Knight to cease in its flight and remain stationary in midair. The effects of the spell last for 2 to 3 seconds, allowing the Sun Knight sufficient time to move away from the line of flight. Initially, one of the missiles can be affected by the spell, but the number, or only one missile, but the number increases as the Grandmaster rises in rank. Strength. By casting the spell, a Sun Knight is able to greatly increase his or her physical strength for a short duration. It can be used to lift or move heavy objects, or to effect a temporary increase in combat skill and endurance scores while fighting an enemy in unarmed combat. There's a footnote on that. The strength spell is in practice also used in armed combat, contrary to what is indicated here. Okay, so we don't get to use it at our leisure, but there might come a time when we can.
Okay, makes sense.
All right, so that's it for the improved disciplines, folks. So I'm just going to put up a skill vote for the disciplines. Get to voting, please choose wisely.
Please,
please, don't make Inferno sad again. All right, everyone, see you later.